just ate
Almonds?
Almonds.
No, but
All-
your teeth are so white. How am I just now noticing that? I think it's because of these bright lights.
Yeah, we have new lights today that we're really
Well, they're
excited
the same
about.
lights, but we were just using them correctly now.
Yeah. They were like on the floor when we were
Yeah.
filming before.
Welcome to Embody THIS.
Yep. Welcome.
I'm Keila.
And I'm Kate.
And we are here to explore the beauty and the mess and the magic of being.
We're going to talk about primal, animal,
Instincts.
instinctual.
Human instincts. Are you an animal? Have you ever thought about that? There is a continuity between us humans, animals, nature, the galaxies, and the rest of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we experience glimpses of that grand continuity. And I think it's important to just take a step back and recognize exactly what those patterns are, what those connections are with the world around us.
It's very easy today to get lost in society's hamster wheel and forget that we are just another part of nature. I was thinking about it the other day, actually, when I was a kid and I'd get in trouble at home a lot. I was a crazy kid. But whenever I was arguing with my parents, I would run away to the creek at the end of the cul-de-sac and I would just sit at the creek and just
That's cool.
stare out and be really mad and annoyed and pissed off. The creek settled my emotions and I just wanted to go somewhere that was in the middle of nature, and that helped a lot even as a kid, and I didn't even realize that's why I was going there.
You were
but
running
it just
home.
called me. Yeah.
You were running into the wilderness
To Mother
and
Earth.
experiencing your wild feelings in the wild nature.
Yeah.
There's a quote by Henry David. He said, "In wilderness is the preservation of the world." So to that, I think in our wilderness, we can find the animal, the inner animal that's preserved in our inner worlds. When we strip away all that society has clothed and cloaked us with, when we strip all of that away, it's important to question, who is the animal within? What is the animal within us? I mean, like our laws and our constructs, all of that is created to tame the animal and to create organization and drive us forward in society, but not in the natural world.
Society takes away from that creative aspect within each of us, and the creative aspect is rooted in nature. If we don't go back to that every day, we can easily get lost in the hamster wheel. For me, I am addicted to the trail right now. There's Lady Bird Lake in Austin. There's an amazing trail. And I just go, and today I actually listened to meditative sounds, which usually I'm listening to like house music and frolicking around. But today I dropped in and became one with the trees and was touching leaves as I walked by. Because I was just putting this to test, you know?
I realized that we were so similar one of the first times that we hung out, because we both just naturally started hugging trees and like, I thought I was the only person doing that in my world. But you came along and we just bonded over nature.
Yeah. We're so connected to it, and we just have to be aware that it's a part of us and that it can truly heal.
If you think about it, a turtle can't look up at the stars and ponder about life's greatest mysteries. But we do.
Yeah. Souls.
Yeah.
We have souls.
Yeah, we have souls. Maybe we were created to adore nature, and nature was created to sustain and inspire us and teach us. I feel like it holds so many great lessons and wisdom.
It's a boundless creation. Like, what? I don't know. It's a boundless creation.
I can see so much clearer now. It's crazy.
I know. These lights are insane. We go into Sherwin-Williams and like, you know, we think, oh my gosh, there's so many colors and there's so many options. Go into nature.
Oh
my gosh.
Well, that's what we did with the color palette. We looked at our natural essence and the colors that we contain within the wilderness of us as females, and we chose period blood red.
Yeah. Our branding is all rooted in nature.
Yeah. Should we open the portal?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
We have this card deck. A dear friend of mine, an online friend of mine, gifted this to me.
It's a beautiful card deck.
So beautiful, and it's so simple to use. It's called Animal Apothecary. Her name is Kara Elizabeth. I highly recommend this oracle deck. There's a message with the animal that you pull, and it's medicine, wisdom from these animals. And these have been so spot on recently. I don't think you have to be like a pro at pulling decks to channel and tap in. So
am I pulling for you?
Yes.
Okay. Give me your hand.
Your hands are cold.
They're so small. Ooh. Immense growth. Number 15.
15. Okay. I've never gotten that one before. Hear that? 15. Immense growth. The vulture. Vulture comes to speak to us about the wisdom of the sacredness of suffering. In Buddhism, the first noble truth is that all life involves suffering. It is not something to be escaped, but to be accepted. Only when we accept this law of our existence are we able to transmute and grow from suffering. Vulture sustains her life by living off that which is dead. She does not interfere by bringing a quicker death to her prey. Instead, she allows it to endure what it must, and its suffering ends in its natural time. Vulture's medicine asks you to understand that pain, suffering, and trauma hold an energetic power. I've been thinking a lot about self-inflicted suffering, not in the scary and harmful way, but in the
challenging,
transmutative way, the alchemical way. And you actually sparked an idea in me to mentally and emotionally prepare for hardships and adversities by getting physical and working out and lifting weights and strengthening. And that's a way of self-inflicted pain, working out. That's a great example of a healthy form that you can use pain to alchemize and grow. I mean, today I did a cold plunge and it really hurt, but I got out of that and I felt stronger. When the ego cracks, it's like an egg and the self is born. It's an ego death. Like, I'm letting go parts of my ego that I've held onto, but that is going to allow the greater self to crack open and be born. Animals hold so many archetypes for us to look to. John Campbell is an amazing philosopher, and he dives into mythology and archetypes. And I mean, we are meaning making machines, quote Kate, quote whoever told
Bob
you.
Heard. We love you, Bob.
Another thing that distinguishes us between animals is that we create meaning out of things. We are self-aware. We have consciousness, and we can make conscious decisions. Point blank, period. Where do we lay la 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 la? What animal are you today?
Today I'm a little sloth because I am having a lower vibration day. I feel like embracing that rather than fighting it has been really helpful. Went on a walk, took a really long shower. I like to embrace the way that I'm feeling. If I'm feeling low vibrations and then force it and like go out with friends or be in a social environment or whatever, it's just gonna make things 1,000 times worse. A little slothy today, but not in a bad way, just in a slow way.
There's something that removes the power that lower vibration feelings have when you embrace them. And embody them.
And love them. Sitting with yourself in those low moments are opportunities to get closer to yourself.
Never let a kangaroo coerce you or like entice you into the water, because it's a trick they use to drown you. That's how they like to feed their...
That's crazy to think about. Kangaroos can entice you into the water and trick you into drowning. What mischievous little creatures.
How did Kate die?
She's like fine in the water.
I know I'm gonna go with some freak accident like that.
Like, I look up at birds and I'm like, I need to fly like you one day. Like, I'm so connected and drawn to that form, that creature. That's how I feel like my spirit wants to soar like a bird.
I feel like I'm a little baby lion.
Yeah.
Lots of strength, but like at the same time, lots of softness too.
A lioness cub.
Lioness cub.
Do a roar. Do your lioness roar.
Right? Bravo. I know. I'm telling you. But I do feel like we can constantly change and embody different animals. nature is just so inspirational, and it doesn't even need to be animals. It can be plants or different elements in nature too that we can take inspiration from and be more like.
Yeah. I mean, we are part of nature.
Yeah.
We just separate ourselves.
Why do you think we're so forgetful of that?
It frustrates me. I wish I could just live in the mud.
I mean, when you go to the park, there's so many people at the park. When you go to the trail, there's so many people on the trail. But it's that awareness of what's calling me here. Why does this feel good? That I think we should sit in more and be more.
Yeah. It's so simple. Just the act of sitting in it.
Yeah.
And just being part of it by not like rushing through life, not trying to achieve something at every second of the day.
Yeah.
And just being.
Yeah.
Being is part of our primal state.
We are the only species that is discombobulated in their own environment.
Oof.
We are
discombobulated
all over the place in our
Dang.
own environment. That's the point of what we're trying to do, is just allow some awareness back in.
Live from the body versus living solely in the mind. The mind creates stories, creates systems, creates meaning, and it civilizes us.
I was driving late last night and I noticed that everything was quiet. It was like 10 p.m. Whole Foods was closed. The roads were dark. I was the only one on the road. And I was like, whoa, everybody's asleep right now or at home right now. They just had dinner. We're like getting ready for bed and this is the routine. And then everything kind of opens back up at 8 a.m. And we've developed this system in society that everyone just kind of follows. And it's kind of crazy. Like, why is there not a grocery store that's open from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.? And that's their hours, because society just isn't set up that way. The structure that we live in kind of makes me want to rebel a little bit. And
oh, you don't want to go to bed early at night anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I love going to bed early. It makes me want to get closer to my humanness rather than follow all of the little hamster wheels that we've set up for ourselves.
What does the most empowering embodiment of our animalistic nature look like in a unleashed society? Let's like think of it at a higher level like that.
Play, happiness, skipping around.
Rewilding. I love that term.
Rewilding.
Coming back to your wild essence.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're part of the animal kingdom. We have animal instincts. We nurture our children. We form social groups. We're territorial. A lot of these instincts that we have. Animals are born and they know that they have to... Let's think of an animal here.
Turtle. They hatch and they know they have to go to the sea.
They just go straight to the sea. Butterflies, monarch butterflies trip me out.
Why?
They're all over the world, right? All the cocoons all over the world. Somehow, some way, they all know to gather in this one area in Mexico and around these like specific trees, and all of them just flock, and that's the migration.
Cute.
Like the monarch butterfly migration. It's a whole thing. And that's why there's the whole Save the Monarchs initiative, because we don't want to lose them. They're special. Use our natural worlds to uplift us, to bring medicine into our lives, our hearts, our souls. The sun is a big one. The sun is, it's life force energy. I mean, plants need the sun. They grow towards the sun. Sometimes I feel like I'm a sunflower and just like, my eyes sun gazing.
So good for your eyes. I stopped wearing sunglasses during the day. I only wear sunglasses at night when I go out, because it's actually really good. I know if you stare into the sun for a long amount, that's not great, but it's good for your eyes to get natural sunlight every day.
Especially in the mornings and at night.
Yeah, sunrise and sunset balances your circadian rhythm in your body. So we're connected to it and we're made to thrive in the sun. The sun powers us. It charges us. It's like a hug from the universe.
Yeah.
The sun.
Mm-hmm. I could not live without the sun, literally.
No.
No one could.
But I'm
You could.
Great.
Vampire.
I do.
Clouds are cool.
clouds are fun.
They're so cool. And the cycle of clouds, the water cycle.
You want to share more about
So
that?
cool.
What's the water cycle? of clouds?
Yeah. Yeah. The evaporation, condensation, precipitation. When I'm in a plane and we're flying through clouds,
Oh my gosh. It's the
I'm
greatest
never
experience.
not in awe. I'm always the one, like, I don't care how bright it is,
Yeah.
the window open, just like, oh my gosh, how is this even possible that we're flying through it? It's so crazy and so beautiful. I love clouds.
Sky is the most beautiful canvas that we can
The
look up
colors.
to. And every single second is like a new picture unfolding.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the colors are never the same. Not one day is the same. And that's why it's so special to go outside and just look at the sky, sunrise or sunset,
Yeah.
and watch the painting, God painting.
I feel like if we were to look up at the sky every day as a collective, we would live a very different life. Because we tend to look down, like people walking, people
Yes.
passing, strangers on the street. Everyone's gaze is kind of downwards or just like direct.
Look up.
Look up. Take that to your internal world too.
Yeah.
Look up.
Rocks.
Oh God, rocks hold so much. I feel like they hold a lot of data of our world. Like if you think about it,
Yeah,
they've
fossils.
the rocks, fossils.
History.
That's like the SD card of the Earth. I used to go fossil hunting with my brother when we were little, and we would go camping. And it was just my favorite thing to finally get to the campground, walk outside, and then go fossil hunting. And there's just something about like looking at this piece of earth that's so contained and petrified. So many truths that you're holding.
Yeah.
And like when I traveled as a teen later on, I'd be reminded of that, like looking at rocks and fossils as you walk past old buildings and like the stoned rocky walls and pavements, and just like placing your hand on it and feeling
Yeah.
that potent energy that
Yeah.
it has been there. It's almost like touching an old ancient tree.
Yeah.
Stands so much time.
Like rocks have been through some shit.
They have.
They've been weathered and eroded. Weathering and erosion. They're perfect in their being wherever they are, whether it's a huge boulder, whether it's a pebble, or whether it's a little grain of sand. It's
Yeah.
perfect, and it's just, gone through whatever it's had to go through to be where it is, and it's serving its purpose exactly where it is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have to talk about trees. What can you learn from trees?
Ooh. Trees hold so much wisdom. I mean, trees communicate with each other through the mycelium network. Kind of like neurons in one big brain. But, if one sparks and one tree may be lacking nutrients, the tree next to it, if it's getting more
Really?
sun exposure, it'll transfer
Stop.
its nutrients to the other tree. Yeah.
I love that. That's
They
so
support each
sweet.
other. They're the most solid kind of plant growing on Earth, and they hold so many years within them, like what other plant stands time like a tree?
There is comfort and connection and company in nature. And if you are struggling, or if you have a bad day, think about that. Think about you always have nature to come back to. It doesn't need to be another human.
Grounding is a centering practice, coming back to a place of peace and stability. And we can look towards nature to see how so many different things are grounded, from the grass and the trees rooted in the earth. And we can somatically and emotionally ground ourselves and find our own centers. It's such a great, simple practice to find presence and to step outside of the noise of your mind and into the wisdom of the body.
Well,
Yeah.
look at us. We're living in the sky. Especially here in Austin, it's just building up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
We're just building up, up, up. Put your bare feet in grass today.
Feel the cold soil beneath your feet, on your soles. Sit in it, stand in it,
Lay in it.
place your palms down, like imprint yourself, embed yourself, and see how that changes your energy. It always does such a profound effect on me.
Same.
I want to go do it after this.
I know.
Yeah.
Same. We will. I love leaving my back door open and my windows open, especially now that it's getting a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Fresh air in the house. There's something very healing
It's a
and
reminder.
energetic too about it.
You don't have the accessibility to go outside at any point of the day. Like, bring it into your home, bring it into your space.
Yeah.
You bring in lots of plants into your space. That makes it feel more grounded in here.
And it's
You
weird
open
that
the
our
doors,
bodies
feel
know
the air.
the difference between real and fake plants.
Yeah, lots of differences in terms of like our spirits and our souls and kind of non-physical nature of who we are.
The self-awareness and free will part of it really separates us from the other animals, and that's probably what makes us feel either isolated or better than. There was a time for me where I didn't really pay attention to nature because I just felt like this world revolves around me and the other humans. And not until recently I realized that when I connect myself to nature, to the other animals and to the plants, I'm an equal. It's really empowering when you use the free will and the self-awareness aspects that we were given as humans.
Integrate yourself back into...
Whoa.
Yeah.
How special.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that we are able to appreciate and love things rather than ignore them and get caught up in our own world or other people's worlds.
The will is a powerful thing that does distinguish us as humans. It allows us to have desires, to make decisions, choices. And depending on what we choose, if it's aligned with love, it could be empowering or disempowering. And then we have our intellect, which can be tamed by our will. And if we move with love and let love influence our will, then we can act in our intellects, which we do consciously, in a more empowered way.
Starts with stepping down and realizing we're a part of it. We're not above it.
Stepping down. It's beautiful.
Stepping down.
There's humility, I think, is what we can learn from our natural worlds. The closer you are to the ground, the closer you are to that stripped away humility and love that you find at the center.
I've been talking about this search. As humans, we're, especially in America, moving so fast in search for something. What's the next best thing? Oh, we get the promotion. Okay, great. What's the next best thing after that? We get something and then we're on to the next. We get something and then we're on to the next. And all of a sudden we die.
Yeah, it's a infinite hole that we're throwing sand at, and we think it's going to be full after the next throw, but it's not.
It's not. Especially with other man-made things.
If you don't pay attention and ground yourself in the now, then life will flee
Eat
away
you
from
alive. It will eat you alive.
So let's eat life up.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it eat us, let's be animals. Let's get out there, breathe in the air, become aware.
What did you say yesterday about the breathing and how our breath we run?
Yeah. The pace at which we breathe on average as humans is the pace of a human in danger. Like, if you were in danger, then you'd be like hyperventilating, and the amount of breaths that we take on average is the same amount as you're in danger. So we're living in survival mode.
Fight or flight.
Breathe slow down. Let's be sloths.
Let's be sloths.
Can embody our primal instincts, our primal desire to just move and be and flow through life like the animals that we are.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for joining Embody This.
Thank you for
Go
listening.
be your best animal self and rewild yourself.
Find your inner
Roar.